Hello everyone, the 25th Genius back here with another video. So in this video, I kinda want to really talk about something that I know I just feel like I need to. If you have a comment or if you're thinking or whatnot, I don't care, but it's something that I feel like I just need to talk about. So as you already know, the series Days of Hana already ended. And again, it's an amazing series. If you just have never checked it out, you're sleeping. It's really class A, class S webtoons that I'm talking about here. You definitely need to check it out. But I always raved about this one character by the name of Jeff and how I love Jeff. I've made several videos about Jeff. You can find them. I've made several videos about Jeff. I absolutely love Jeff in his role in the Days of Hana and his role in the world as a whole. Again, it's just you couldn't get a better world building character than Jeff, in my personal opinion. But now, in another webtoon series called Unordinary, which is insanely popular and really huge and is just ever growing, I completely hate the character called John. John, if you don't know, he is the main character who lied about him having powers. Now he actually does have powers, but he's an utter trash, utter bully with his powers, and he just beats people in the face because he feels like it. But this video is really about why it's really a comparison video. I'm going to talk about why I like one character and why I completely despise another. I'm going to compare these two characters in the best detail that I can. So let's get started. So here's the overall question. Why do I like Jeff? I like Jeff for the following reasons. One, you've never found a better world building character like Jeff. Jeff is just the world of Days of Hana bar was set because of Jeff. Here's the thing about Jeff. Jeff is just a horrible human being. There's no hiding it. There's no telling it. Like, he first appeared to be really nice and sweet, but other than that, he's just a horrible human being through and through. There's nothing nice about him. There's nothing redeeming. There is no other good quality that you can really talk about Jeff. Jeff is a womanizer. Jeff is an abuser. Jeff just really uses his power and he just abuses it to no end. There is nothing good about Jeff. Jeff played a huge role in the dark events that happened in the later chapters in Days of Hana because he just felt like it. He is petty. He is deceiving. He is conniving. He's manipulative. He's murderous. He's all of these things. But that's what makes him so good. See, in the world of Days of Hana, in which there were so many very powerful themes, Jeff's character actually has a purpose. His purpose just drives the webtoon. His purpose is to set the bar of the webtoon. His purpose is to literally create the chain of events that will eventually inspire. You needed a character like Jeff to really thoroughly explain the details of the Days of Hana, because if you didn't have a character like Jeff, a lot of the powerful things wouldn't have been as powerful as if Jeff wasn't in there in general. Jeff's character of being malicious, aggressive, conniving really just showed you the abuse of the werewolves and just the abuse that he showed towards other people in general. He was such a scumbag that his own father did not like him. He was such a scumbag that the actual worser scumbag even said, wow, he died, thank God, type of thing. Jeff was just a terrible, terrible, terrible person, but that's what made Days of Hana really good to me, was the fact that he was so terrible, was the fact that he was always elevating the plot of Days of Hana more and more and more and more. Even when he stopped, he was always escalating it more and more. He was a character who was controlling the strings of Days of Hana, in my personal opinion. He was embedding these themes, challenging our ideas, really building up a level of hate for this character. Now, when I say I love him, I honestly hate him as a person. He deserved to die, and I was actually very happy that he died. Let me just clear that up right now. But when I say I love him, I just love what he brought to the webtoon. I enjoyed the webtoon better, knowing that there was a character like him to really despise and be disgusted by. On top of that, again, it's just really good character strategy on the author's part, establishing such a very powerful character. Because the thing with Days of Hana too is that you just had many characters that represented so many different stereotypical controversial issues that it just blew your mind. You had Hana's father with, is it okay to really cross date? You had Jeff, was it okay to abuse people? You had the breeder, who was it okay to just raise werewolves like food, to kill them, murder them, and do whatever that you want. You had so many of these amazing characters that all played a specific role. Even the protagonist like Hana, was it okay to really fall in love with this werewolf? You know, was it okay to really like give the werewolves a chance and all this other stuff? Again, you just needed characters like that, and every character in the show, no matter how small, how big, played a significant role. But I feel like the one that tied it all together was Jeff. Jeff was always behind the scenes, always circling. He was always scheming something. If he didn't get his way, he was very angry and petty about it. And he would show the way that he would get his way, whether you honestly liked it or not, basically. And yeah, like I said, again, Jeff, all in all, Jeff is just a very, very powerful character, in which again he just drove Days of Hana to me. Like the MVP of really making Days of Hana good would definitely be Jeff, in my utmost opinion. The second would be Haru, just because Haru was just such a very, very underdog but very strong and insanely powerful character who showed his true colors in the end. And I really do hate to see the ending of Days of Hana because it's very, very sad and it legit will have you tearing up. Not like the Noblesse scene to me, but it definitely would have you cheer up. Now, on the other hand, John doesn't contribute nothing to Unordinary. Like, he contributes to the hierarchy, but and the fact that the hierarchy is very bad and defaulted, and what happens when you have a hierarchy in the system in which you talk about power class and all that other bullcrap. But ultimately at the end, it's pointless, it's mindless, it's senseless. It drives no plot whatsoever. It's just John being John because he feels like it. Now, when I say there is no plot, of course, Uro's obviously using this as a plot device for bigger and better things. Of course, she's using it as a plot device to really drive the story along. But I'm talking about in terms of if John is just his own entity. In terms of John being his own entity, he is just utter trash. Garbage. Every action that he does is just because he feels like it. Every action he does is just because he's angry. Every action he does is because he's just mentally freaking insane. There's nothing to like. There's nothing to enjoy. There's nothing to really even talk about when you talk about the way John's actions has been for the past 2-3 years. And what makes it even worse to me is the fact that we have a headmaster, and I always bring this up because I just feel like the headmaster should have expelled him for a long time. Even his assistant was just like, man, he's just really dangerous. Are you really sure about this? Nah, we need him to beat up more people. I'm just like, well, I mean, that's exactly what's gonna happen because he's gonna kick the crap out of everybody. But also on top of that, it's just I just don't have a lot of respect for John. I don't have a lot of respect for hiding something so valuable to your best friend that you claim because you just don't want her to think of you being a monster, but then at the same time you're doing the same thing that you know she's going to call you out on. You literally make no sense. You're just a contradicting, horrible, terrible person who just wants his own way all the flipping time. But then on top of that, what really gets me about John is at the recording of this video, it's a chapter 163, if I'm not mistaken, or 162. Basically, it's in the second season of Unordinary. And basically, Arlo and Serafina have a nice conversation. And Arlo fully identifies why I completely hate John. He proceeds to say that he is angry with John because when he talks to all this mess about protecting Serafina and being there for her and wanting her as a friend, he did absolutely nothing to really protect her or do anything. Instead, he had everyone else take care of her and protect her when he could have did it himself. But instead, he's here handling own mental, personal grudges for no virtual reason at all, just because he just freaking feels like it. At least with Jeff, there was a specific reason based on his background and just the world of Days of Hana in general. But John is just no reason whatsoever. Like, yeah, his past was pretty screwed. Yeah, his past is just the same. But ultimately, he just likes to beat up people and to use advantage of his power to no end. It is very horrible. It is very malignant to the world of Unordinary. And I personally don't know why it's really there. But of course, the author has a definite reason about why it should be there, but at the same time, it's just there's just nothing to really like. There's really nothing to examine when you talk about this character and the action that he done whatsoever. all in all, his character is just absolute trash. It does nothing. It's just mindless. It's senseless. It's just no like relevance to it. Like, it was one scene in one of the latest chapters in which he just kicks a girl in the face. Like, what did that do? What did that do? Like, he's just aggressive. He's not nice. Like, he's just not like, he's just manipulative. And and of course, on top of that, the real reason, and I've been in this role before, he ultimately hurts someone that he lies and say that he cares about. He ultimately just lied to someone, and you just don't know the feeling of when you just idolize someone and you're there for someone and you really believe everything that they say and you try to emulate them to only find out that it's a flipping lie. Seraphina found out that everything John said was a lie. She don't know how to feel right now. She's all over the place. Because at the moment point when she needed hope, John gave her a false hope and it took it away. That's probably the main reason why I despise John, for playing with someone else's emotions and taking advantage of something. It is not fair, it is not right, nor is it just. At least with Jeff, his actions weren't right or just either, but again, it only drove a plot. There was ultimately meaning behind every action that was done. If you don't believe me, read the webtoon yourself. Every action that he did had a purpose. Every action that he did only developed more of the characters as a whole. Every action he did led to the conclusion of Days of Hana. It was really, we needed a character like him in Days of Hana because the plots and the morals made more sense, but we don't need a character like John in Unordinary because the hierarchy is already messed up and discombobulated and already in chaos. We don't need more chaos to be added in the name of crazy Jane John. So in the terms of this argument, who is the better main character to me? It definitely would be Jeff. And again, it's just really hard for me to pick anything else just because of how aggressive, how loud, how obnoxious, how manipulating, demeaning, demoralizing that John's character is entirely and in general. But again, that's one of the things that makes the webtoon so good, is because you do have characters like that. And that's the only thing that I will give John. Other than that, everything is absolute trash and he needs to go. And that is my video about John and Jeff. I hope you liked the video. Again, it's really hard to really pick between these two amazing characters. But again, if you like this video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe, but also make sure you leave a like and subscribe to your favorite content creators because it helps them out a lot. With that being said, I'll see you in the next video and have a good day.